Hi, welcome back to Gatecrashers. This is a special episode. We did interviews for the final season of a show called WondLa on Apple TV. This is the third and final season of their trilogy. I got to speak with Jeanine Mason and Alan Tudyk about the show. So in our interviews, we get to talk about the show, voice acting. Something really fun with Jeanine is that she was a dancer and a winner of Dancing with the Stars. So we actually got to talk about that because different types of art influencing how you do other things is super interesting to me. So I'm really excited we got to chat about that as well. So I hope you like these interviews. They're pretty big ones. So thanks for listening. And check out WondLa on Apple TV. Good morning.
Morning. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm very excited to chat.
Yes.
So, I'm a pretty hard-hitting journalist, so I like to start all of my interviews off with a tough question.
Hit me.
What's your favorite sandwich?
Okay, well, I lately have been really craving an Italian because I recently had a baby, so I could not have any of the deli meats. So I'm like, this weekend, you're actually reminding me, I've yet to do this weekend. I got to go down to, there's this place in the West Village here in New York that it has to have like a lot of oil and vinegar on it.
Yes.
And it's got to be a little seeping, you know?
A little wet.
A little wet. It's got to get so that the bread is like a little mushy, but then the outside is crunchy. So yeah, that's
Are you from New York originally?
I'm from Miami, and so grew up, spending like summers here and stuff. I was a dancer, and we would spend a lot of time here, and then went to LA for a while, and now back to the East Coast and living in New York.
Well, I'm glad. I'm down in Philly, so East Coast is where it's at.
100%.
Now, with WondLa ending. Yeah. What does that feel like to you? You've gotten to do 3 seasons of a show pretty quickly, and you get to go through your whole story. What is it like to deal with the finality of a third season?
Yeah, it's so bittersweet because I definitely am very grateful in this television landscape to have a little bit of control and understanding like, hey, this is the sandbox, and in the loving thing of getting to then curate something for our audience that we have been intentional about top to bottom. And I'm really proud of what we got to do in reinventing the show with this third season. Yet again, right? Every season you get to stretch somehow. And I guess the sad part is just, it's a really great team that's so committed to excellence. I mean, Apple TV stuff is just so good. It's disgusting. Okay. But this is, I feel like animation and unfortunately children's programming oftentimes gets overlooked and audiences get underestimated. And so just to like be a part of a group that is so committed to creating something that is gonna, push the envelope forward. It's the standard is raised, and you miss being in the room with that energy.
I love that answer, especially the part about children's television often getting overlooked because this season, even in the summary, that one of the taglines is there is no them, there is only us. Yeah. For you, what did that mean to tell a story where you're teaching a younger audience something so important?
Yeah, I think right now there's like such a timely element to this, which is wild because as quickly as the seasons have been released, obviously with animation, it's a long lead time. And so the show's been being worked on for a long time. And the timing of it coming out right now, with like such polarity in our country is really wild. And I think oftentimes we could probably do with, following the lead of the children more often. So them having a tool through this show with which to navigate, understanding that all of that is like the minutia, and we have to get back to what's like truly important, which is, we're all in this together. And connection seems hard right now for the grownups. Connection is really hard. And I'm proud of how much this season, there's like so much love for someone between Eva 8 and Eva 9, for example. Like there's so much love in spite of Eva 9 being so confused by how she could have such a different opinion. And yeah, I think that's like very true, and it's a bummer, but we gotta figure out a way to connect. So it feels like a bridge. Being like, I don't have to understand or appreciate or agree with you, but I could still try to reach you.
Yeah, and you can see the person on the other side instead of the them. I love that, and especially when you're getting that to younger audiences.
Yeah.
For you, you have done pretty much everything from live action, and you've also done dancing, which is something I've never gotten to talk about with someone. But this show is primarily voice acting. Yeah. What is that like for you as someone who is so used to being able to use the full range of motion of your body to tell stories when you're now just confined to one thing?
Yeah, 100%. And was my question going into this job. But what do I do when I feel like I've literally had my hands cut off? I think I definitely, coming from like an athlete background of dancing my whole life and really I feel like my interest in this art form was very like MGM, old Hollywood coded, where it was like you sing, you dance, you act, and then I found a lot of comfort in knowing that the best, actors, in my opinion, are very connected to their instrument. Like they are. It's all informing what's happening in the very tight frame, but it's often just your head, right? And so when I took that into this, I went, oh God, how do I just make it my voice? Like, what if it's not giving everything I want it to give? And I realized that the structure of a great engineering studio is you could do whatever you want in that room. And that like physically involving my body in takes where I was physically moving. I mean, I had to like change my sneakers. I started going into sessions with like flip-flops because, I'm from Florida, and I very quickly was like, oh wait, hold on. I need to wear athleisure in here. Like I got to put sweatpants on because I was really, it made the difference I could hear it in my voice when I was physical in the room.
I love that. And now, again, as I said earlier, I haven't been able to get to talk to a professional dancer in my time yet. What do you think dancing, as your sport, as your art, what do you think that has helped you in other walks of life? Like, how has this helped you in creating other art?
Ooh, I love that. I feel like it feels like a superpower in itself. I think because I feel like I'm very aware of everybody else's bodies in a space too. And for someone like me, like it helps me put people at ease. Like I can kind of understand when someone is uncomfortable. Maybe they don't quite think that they're telegraphing that yet, but I could see it in their body. And it's a very loving superpower, I think, if used correctly, But I've also just found that I think the longer I'm doing this, the more I'm realizing like sometimes the words get in the way. And I love beautiful words. I love great writing so very much. But gesture and expression and the physical, like it is what tells everything. It's like my favorite thing it just takes my breath away. More often than not, I'll watch a show and it's like a gesture or a hand on the cheek, and you're like, oh, suddenly understanding. So I'm pretty obsessed with it. I love working with actors who are like as nerdy and excited about like using their full instruments.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. That's a very fun, like interesting answer as someone from not a strict dancing background, but congratulations on your first child, and congratulations on being able to have jelly meat again.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
Thank you for your time.
I'm gonna post a photo of it this weekend. I'm gonna say,
yes, I will be there.
For Daniel.
Thank you. Thank you. If I can make that impression on people, then I've done my job. Everyone can catch this third season of WondLa on Apple TV.
Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. Alan, very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Daniel.
Let me just get into
Let's crash some gates, man. Let's do it.
All right, let me get into character real quick.
Okay.
I'm a very hard-hitting journalist, and I'm not sure if you know too much about me, but I start all my interviews with a hard-hitting question. I hope you're ready.
Good. Hit me as hard as you can.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite sandwich?
Oh. Okay. All right. You open with the big ones. Hamburger. Now, I know a lot of people aren't going to go. They're going to think as a hamburger is a sandwich because it's a hamburger, but it is a piece of meat between two pieces of bread. Like, it's the definition of a sandwich. And I like a good smash burger. And I go with a gluten-free bun. If I'm going crazy, I'll put bacon on it if I can keep pigs out of my mind because they're the cutest little things. But avocado, some kind of crazy sauce, I don't care. And I need ketchup on the side. And I prefer as a side dish, which isn't a sandwich, but sweet potato fries are better than regular fries. I said it.
Very specific on all the things. Are you a cheeseless burger person?
Yeah, I can't eat dairy. I'm all
sorry for your loss.
Man, I got all kinds of things. but it still tastes good without it. If there's a vegan cheese, I'll eat that. It's always an interesting nut slice of something. I don't know, nutty slice. I don't know what it is.
A nutty slice. Now, with WondLa, your character, Cadmus Pryde, is more of a straight-laced character than I'm used to seeing you do voice acting for. You have a very prolific background with people like Clayface and a bunch of other incredible characters. What is important to you when crafting a voice for a serious character? Because when you do silly, you can do fun voices, you can go up.
Right.
How do you craft something that's more forward?
Well, he's an interesting character. Cadmus Pryde is a Cadmus Prime. Roll out. Cadmus Pryde is he's when we first meet him in season 1, he's a hologram, and he's the guy who's talking to children, and he's teaching them, and it's kind of like a spokesperson for a corporation in a way. This is how we're going to do this. And then it's just it's kind of the peeling away of who he is throughout the seasons. You're finding more of the human, literally finding the human him. But also as his plans are revealed, he's not afraid to break a few eggs to make an omelet. His omelets require a lot of eggs broken. He doesn't, and he's the man for the job. So it just kind of becomes, with this character, it becomes, it's every episode, almost more like every season, he's almost a new person. Like you unveil more and more and more, and it's about getting to the heart of who he is, which I believe is a good man who's just kind of lost his way a bit when you see him destroying things, because he's trying to save his species, which is a noble cause. Unfortunately, he does. Yeah.
Now, something that really caught my eye, and we talked about it in my interview with Jeanine, but there is a tagline from the summary of the season that says, "Prove the ultimate truth. There is no them. There is only us."
Right.
What does something like that mean to you in a story in our current world? Like, what does it feel like for you to be able to tell that kind of story?
And it's such a great message. I think a lot of, organized religions come down to that. If it in the simplest form, this is not a religion. This is not a religious show. But when you come to like ways of thinking about the world, like living amongst people, we're all different. We all seem very different. We have different. We look different. We have different ideas about things. We have different ways of doing things, and you can use that as something that keeps us apart, or it's something you can embrace and see yourself in others. When I'm able to see myself in others, my life is just better. So I feel like it's just a universal truth, and not an easy one. It's not one that I think it's one you have to come to, that people, the happiest people I know, sort of follow something similar to that in their lives.
Yeah, that was a really prolific answer. Thank you. Now, you've done a lot of animation. You worked in all these spaces, so you know how long a project takes to get done. What was it like for you to have this series be a trilogy that came out pretty much right one after another? Is it good to have, like, just here's the whole project so you get the full story?
I think so. I've personally, I don't know about you, there's some of these, just because of the way that the world has been going, world's been spinning, interesting, in an interesting timing these days, where I'll fall in love with a project or some series, and then it's 2 years before I see the next season. I'm like, okay, wait, where am I again on this? It's great to be able to just continue the story straight through, especially one that's this big. It's nice to have it come out like that. And for me as a performer in it, I actually am enjoying watching it. I'm able to see it all. We've been working on it for a long time, so there's been some distance between us and the recording of it. So watching it, I'm very much a fan and a spectator, as well as being a participant.
Well, thank you for your time. I've been a huge fan of yours for a very long time, so I was trying not to, too hard to freak out when I'm talking to the star of Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, but K2 was another big one, but the horror is where my heart is. So thank you for chatting.
Oh, cool, man. Thank you.
Is there any message you hope people take away from this show, of this story you've gotten to tell?
I think the message from season 2, that it's about, there is no them, it's us. I think that is a great message.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah. Cheers. Thank you. Thanks,
Have a great tour.
Mm-hmm. Appreciate it.
The Geek Crashers.